This movie begins with a man yelling out to who seems like his wife to make him a sandwich. His eyes are absolutely glued to the TV and doesn't even bother to look at her as she runs in, handing him the sandwich he just yelled out for. The man bites down on the sandwich while laser focused on the television. The lady backs away slowly while watching him demolish the sandwich viciously. She hurries to a knitting station tucked away in a closet filled with hanging clothes. She picks up her knitting ends and begins to knit, and she hears a loud voice in the background just seconds later. "Marcy!" The man yells out at her to bring him another sandwich, yet again. She drops everything and hurries back to the kitchen to make another sandwich. As she meticulously spreads the mayonnaise on a slice of white bread, she hears the man yelling out in the background for her to hurry up, to which she gets aggravated. She picks up what looks like a bottle of dishwashing detergent and squirts out a generous amount on the meats placed on the sandwich, and she covers it with a second slice of bread. He took the sandwich, placed the plate back to the living room, and hands it over. He still doesn't make any eye contact with her. His eyes are still fixated on the television. Again, the lady backs away slowly, surprisingly watches the man bite down on his soap-filled sandwich with no noticeable facial reaction. The lady is now back in the closet again, frantically knitting away. And just moments later, she hears the man yelling out for another sandwich. With clear signs of frustration on her face, she hurries back to the kitchen and begins making the sandwich. As she makes the sandwich, she hears the man in the background still making comments about her incompetences. Things start taking a strange twist as she glances across the room and sees a litter box filled with feces. She grabs a fork and a butter knife and gently places a lump of feces on the meat before she closes it with a second slice of white bread. She takes hesitant steps as she walks towards the man, handing him the plate of dawn-filled sandwich. He grabs the plate and begins to chow down on the sandwich. At this point, his face is filled with shock, mouth wide open, and at a loss for words. The man had no reaction and continued stuffing his face. She runs back to the closet to knit, and at this point, she is enraged. She hears him yell her name a third time to bring him another sandwich. She angrily drops her pens and returns to the kitchen. As she makes the switch, she gets startled by the man hollering in the background, and she accidentally knocks over a jar of mayonnaise as she attempts to sweep up the mess, all the while listening to the man in the background chastising her. She has the brightest idea to place a rather large glass from the broken jar of mayonnaise in the sandwich. The movie takes a sinister turn here, and also the climax of the movie. So if you're going to watch this movie, I suggest you click off now, because spoiler alert, he's back in the living room and hands him the sandwich. He takes the first bite and chews carelessly with no regard for the glass placed in the sandwich. It begins to bleed profusely from his mouth, but keeps on chewing with no interruptions. And at this point, the lady is in complete shock. He's back in the closet now with a more relaxed expression on her face. She hears the man call out again, but this time, it wasn't for a sandwich. He walks into the room to see what the man wants, and at this point, the camera pans to a maggot-filled corpse, holding a remote control with hollowed eyes still glued to the television, surrounded by stacks of maggot-filled sandwiches.